Good morning, survivors. It's another beautiful day in Navezgane. This is Yeasty Goodness here. So, this is the first in potentially a series of YouTube videos that I'm trying out, where I'm going to show you guys how to use certain quirks of the AI and the game to kind of make your life a little easier. So the first thing we got today is this thing right. You can see some of my other inventions in the back. Not all of them work, but this one right here. This one has worked pretty well for me. This is a thing that I've used successfully in both single player and multiplayer to survive horde nights, or just random hordes that wander through. So it's pretty easy to construct. The only tricky part is placing the drawbridge up there, but you can see it's this little half of a square pyramid. It's very important that you fill in the back too, because otherwise they'll go underneath and do that. For some reason, having this half square pyramid design like this instead of just say these three ramps, three blocks worth of ramps right here, means that they stop busting up the ramp platform. I don't know why, they just do. So what happens is you run up here, you sprint your way up the ladder, make sure not to fall off. One of the things that I did when I was building it was that right down there, basically, 3 by 3 off the back of this, I put some hay bales so I could jump down if I needed to. Placing the drawbridge here was a little tricky, but just remember to use that left click to rotate it and get it in the right position. So I aligned the end of the drawbridge with the last block of ladders, right, or the last thing where the ladders are. And then you can, this is a little tricky as well, just because the bars are narrow, but the benefit of these is you can shoot through them. So if anything gets stuck below you or is running around beneath you, you can shoot at it. You're also up pretty high, and so you've got a great line of sight to see any cops that might be coming or any radiated zombies that show up. Now this, on my world and my server, which is modded, functions pretty well as a fall trap, but you would have to mod your game so that the zombie remains that they turn into after a while don't negate fall damage. If you do that, then this works as a fall trap, but otherwise, on just vanilla game, this is actually a pretty good loop design. It doesn't have to be this high, though, if you're not trying to do fall damage, so you can save yourself some steel on the ladders that way. But you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, this is a shitty horde base, because they'll run over here, they'll run up the ramp, up the ladders, and over the drawbridge, and eat my face. Well, turns out that because of how the game decides where solid blocks are, okay, let's get in. Okay. The game treats this as still being solid blocks, and that means the zombies consider them to be solid blocks too. So I've used this again in single player and with up to 3 players, and we were all over level 100 on day 180 something, and we survived without any scratches at all. And so let's just show you guys how to test it out. Spawn in some nurses, get their attention. Yeah. And so you can see they run up and they fall down. Okay. So sometimes they get stuck like that. I'm not entirely sure why. It's probably something to do with their pathfinding. But eventually they will all just keep going in this loop. And yeah, so you can try to shoot them as they climb up. I would actually not recommend that because the ladders collide with bullets. So if you miss, you're going to hit the ladders, and if you break enough ladders, then there's not a path to you anymore, and then they'll start breaking everything down. And there's only those 3 blocks at the base that support the whole thing. So if they take those out, then all of this comes crumbling down. Yeah, that's no bueno. So what I usually do is just wait until they get up here at the top, and it's like a shooting game. So Okay. So let's... finish this up. And we'll see how much damage they did. Yeah. So that's the one downside, is that if you do use this, you don't get a lot of loot out of them, but you pretty much are invulnerable unless a cop spits at you and damages this platform, which is why every time I use this to survive a Horde night, I always bring a bunch of forged iron with me. And, you know, I think I use a nail gun here, but I use a wrench on my multiplayer world. Right, so we use our little handy-dandy nail gun to see what kind of damage has been done. You see, let's see, just scan. Oh, okay, so that one got a little beat. That one got hit once. But other than, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that was me from earlier. So this one, yeah, I shot that one. Yeah. And so you can see they pretty much, yeah. So there's a tiny bit of damage done. Very small amounts of damage done to the base. And so they just keep running in this loop. Now you don't have to, again, you don't have to build it this tall if you're not going for fall damage. It also doesn't have to be this 5-block high pyramid. You could probably get away with 4, maybe even 3 blocks high. But again, so primarily if you're playing vanilla, this is going to be useful to trap them in a loop so that they never actually get to you. And you can shoot them at your leisure. Or just wait it out. It's entirely possible you can just wait out the Horde. So I hope that this helps you. If you guys like this, let me know. I'll make some more videos like this. I've got some other ideas on how to exploit the AI so that you can be a lot safer, and it's a lot less grind on just repairing a base after every Horde night. Yeah. So when you're done, you can just put that down. Go through. Start cleaning up. This does also have this nice side effect of making cleanup a breeze. So, let me guys know what you think. And if you guys like it, I'll make some more. Bye.